Hey guys, Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer. We talk about music, books, and movies. And today, six of my dragon imaginary friends are gonna try doing a video a day. So, the idea behind this is that they're gonna do the Pokemon genre challenge, which is a thing I found on Rate Your Music, which assigns 10 genres to each Pokemon type. And how this is going to work is I'm going to generate a random Pokemon. Today's Pokemon was Bounsweet, and that's a grass type Pokemon. And the genre I ended up with was folk. Of the six dragons who are going to be reviewing these albums, today was Blaze's turn to pick. And eventually, after much deliberation, me/Blaze ended up picking A Singsong and a Scrap by Chumbawamba. Yes, the I Get Knocked Down band has a folk album. In fact, they have multiple. They also have made anarcho-punk music. Watch Todd in the Shadows' One Hit Wonderland or Mike the Snare's deep discog dive on them to learn more. Anyway, here's my brief thoughts on this. It's actually a really good folk album with great political commentary, beautiful melodies, and some surprisingly solid a cappella tracks. With that out of the way, let's get started with the voice acting, shall we? Hey guys, Blaze Flarington here, and this is Bolt Thunderstone, Skyler Wing, Houdini Presto, Forrest Woods, and Draven Onyx. Today we're gonna try to do a daily album review series. I don't know how long this will last, but we're gonna try it. Anyway, today we had to pick a folk album, which is not good for me because it's my turn to pick, and I'm not a fan of folk music. Seriously, why couldn't it have waited until Forrest's turn to pick a grass type? Relax, Blaze. Maybe you'll get a genre you like on your next turn. Yeah, I know. Anyway, I went with A Singsong and a Scrap by Chumbawamba. I know a few albums by this band, and I like all of the ones I've heard, but I never checked out of their late period folk era. So, I decided that since I have to pick a folk album, I'd go with the highest rated of their folk era. Which is how I ended up picking this album. I had no idea whether I would like it or not because while I like Chumbawamba, I do not like folk. After listening to it, I have to say, this was better than I thought. For one thing, the vocals on songs like Walking into Battle with the Lord and Bank Robber are so beautiful. Both songs are borderline a cappella, but the vocals are so good that I barely noticed. In fact, the vocals are a highlight across this album. Slower songs like By and By, When Alexander Met Emma, Learning to Love, and The Untraditional are sung with so much passion that they make instrumentation that I would normally find boring sound gorgeous. Then there are the faster songs like Laughter in a Time of War, William Francis, You Can, Mass Trespass 1932, Fade Away, I Don't Want to, The Land of Do What You're Told, and Smith and Taylor, which are just so damn catchy and fun to sing along with. The only song I don't care for was Bella Ciao, if only because it felt less like an actual song and more like an extremely fleshed out interlude. I never thought I'd say this about a folk album, but this is a 9 out of 10. See? Aren't you glad you got folk? No, because thinking about what album I wanted was a total pain in the ass. Anyway, Forrest, would you like to go next? I guess so. This album honestly surprised me. I thought I would hate a band that started out making anarcho-punk, then made tub thumping, trying to make a folk album. It just sounded like a recipe for disaster. That said, I actually enjoyed this album quite a bit. Like Blaze said, the a cappella bits are done well, the vocals are great, and the instrumentation is actually quite beautiful at points. I would like to point out how surprisingly well produced this album is, too. I thought that it would sound like a discount neutral milk hotel, but it doesn't. The warmth, the melodies, and the hooks are all here. Also, while I'm not an anarchist, I found myself agreeing with a decent amount of the political commentary here. The song William Francis is about a landlord who mistreats his tenants. Walking into battle with the Lord is a fantastic critique of religious fanaticism. And let's not forget the underrated LGBTQ anthem, The Untraditional. I will say that Bella Ciao is my least favorite too, for the same reason Blaze already said. Other than that, 9 out of 10. Wow! This album is getting really high praise so far. I have to ask, are your ears okay? To me, this album has a few catchy moments and the rest is just boring. Basically, all the faster songs Blaze mentioned are jams, while the slower ones are boring, and I don't think they did the a cappella thing well at all. Also, Bella Ciao was lame for all the reasons Blaze already said. There are enough enjoyable moments for me to give it a narrow pass, but I wouldn't quite say it's good. 6 out of 10, check it out if you're curious. Have you heard any of Chumbawamba's other stuff? Just tub thumping. Then I recommend some of their earlier stuff. It's more punk and pop leaning, depending on the album. I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, Skyler, would you like to go next? Of course, Bolt. I had known little of Chumbawamba before listening to this album, and what I heard I hadn't liked. This album is a beautiful, lush masterpiece with wonderful vocals and melodies. The anarchist lyrics are written in a way that makes you think instead of just shouting at the listener. It's an intelligent album that is punk in spirit, if not in sound. It does get a tad repetitive at times, on songs like Bella Ciao and Bank Robber, but aside from that, this is a gorgeous album filled with thought-provoking lyrics and beautiful, well-played, and well-produced music. 8 out of 10. You took the words right out of my mouth, Skylar. I actually do like tub thumping, but I hate that it's all this band is known for. These guys have so much good, thought-provoking material that gets overlooked because of that song. In fact, for a long time, I was one of those who only knew their one big hit, and wow, was I missing out. For this album in particular, it may be my first time hearing it, but it definitely won't be my last. Like you guys said, the melodies are gorgeous, the commentary is great, the vocals are beautiful, and all the songs are quite catchy. Rate Your Music labels this album as having pop elements mixed in with the folk, and I can absolutely hear it. I agree that Bella Ciao and Bank Robber feel a bit underdeveloped, but other than that, this album is incredible. 9 out of 10. Draven? Yeah, I'm kind of between Bolt and Skylar. It has some great songs, but other songs such as You Can, Must Trespass, 1932, Bank Robber, and Bella Ciao are annoying, and Learning to Love is just boring. I'd say it's a good album aside from those songs, but this album's weaker moments are difficult to stomach. I agree that the political commentary and vocals are great, though. The acapella moments work surprisingly well because of those vocals. 7 out of 10. You gave us a decent to excellent one, Blaze. Thanks, Draven! Anyway, I hope I get a better genre when my next turn comes around, but at least I enjoyed the album I picked. That's the spirit. Tune in tomorrow for my turn. Hopefully I get a genre I like, but if not, well, at least you guys can laugh at me. Now, let's throw it back to Morgan. And that's my video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer, and I'm out.